Kelvin, it looked like a lot of the recruitment in January was done to a plan. The players were of similar age, they had plenty of league experience, they were battle hardened, ready to go. Is that what the club set out to do?
Yeah, we talked about it before the window and all the time that in the build up to the window, and it was important that we didn't just look at this window and as a short term issue. We looked at some of our medium term and longer term goals as well, with bringing the players in the right ages, assets. And changing the shape of the squad that way, and playing the way that Jimmy wanted to play, and looking at some more wide players and if we start looking at the squad shaping up for next year, it looks good with the ages and the quality.
You touched on it a question or two back about players wanting to come and play for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink. You think we've seen examples of the pulling power of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink during the transfer window?
Yeah, I do. I think he's obviously a name, but I think people, they know what they're going to get with Jimmy. They know what they can come and learn from him. I think with Kelvin maybe we saw that, and I think probably most of the interviewers, I think when they got in front of Jimmy or Jimmy got in front of them and explained to them what he's trying to do and what we're trying to do as a club, I think it was a selling point.
Now, we all know football, it's never an exact science, it's never as easy as you expect it to be. We have to be realistic. There will still be ups and downs, although we believe we're heading the right way, and I think we saw examples of that in the Rochdale game on Saturday.
Yeah, I think so, and I actually said before, I always thought it was going to be a tough game. I think they're a bit better than their league position. They've got quite a few games in hand, and I just felt that been on such a good run, and there was a lot of excitement created, and it's such a frustration in football you deal with sometimes. You build everything up and it's really good, and everyone's got a really good feeling, and then your performances aren't exactly where you want to be. So, but we know that we knew. I always look at points, and I always look at not necessarily games. You look at how many points you end up at the end of the season, and when you get yourselves into a situation that we got ourselves into, you got a points target, and you work towards that, and it doesn't matter necessarily where you pick those points up as long as you do. So it remains, when you don't get any points, it remains you've still got the same target. So we're because of the January we had, which was very good. We have to be careful not to get carried away that the Rochdale game was suddenly becomes a trend. They use that and kick on from there.
Yeah, important to remember, however disappointed we all were on Saturday, that the league position is a lot healthier now than it was a month ago.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a good January, and introduced a few new players, and it changed our performances and changed our results, and that's the key. And we had some great wins great results in January, and again, it's about being on that. But we're not going to take that through to the end of the season. We're not going to win the next. I don't think we're going to. Hopefully you do, but I don't think we're going to win the next 15 games. But those runs don't come around very often. But it's now just picking up the right amount of points to make sure we see ourselves safe in a League One side next year.
Yeah, as important as it was not to get too carried away after the good results in January, it's equally important not to get too disappointed after Saturday's game. So just really a case of the confidence and the belief remains intact. And it's on to Wimbledon.
Absolutely, we talked about it after. It was a poor performance. I think it was a poor performance. I think everyone saw that. I think we've had worse, and I think again, a couple of things go your way. John Joe's header goes in, Turnbull's header goes in, and all of a sudden you might be 1 or 2 up, and it changes the dimension of the game. And I thought we played some decent stuff in the first half, and I don't go on about performances too much because that's Jimmy's job. But I thought second half was poor, but we know that, and Jimmy knows that, and the squad know that, and we now go to Wimbledon on Saturday and Gillingham on Tuesday with making sure we get the spirit right.
Just a final one then, Kelvin, off the field and the latest position on the youth stand.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the council. We've turned everything around. Our lawyers have turned everything how we need to. We've heard that there's a report being written and it's going to go to cabinet. I'm not sure exactly when that is, but we're just waiting on confirmation, and we're ready to go. I get asked. I've been asked the question twice today on social media, so I get asked the question all the time, and now my standard response now is we've got to wait for the council or ask the council the question, because we're waiting. And am I disappointed? I think my last update I said I was hoping for something before Christmas, and realistically I was. And now we're sneaking into February, and it continues. But I'm sure they're working on it as hard as they can. Hopefully they are, and you know, we just need to get that confirmation. You know, once we get that confirmation, we're good place.